Hello, my friends. I hope you're really well, and it's good to see you for another pick a card reading. Today we'll be looking at advice for your current situation. Advice for your current situation. So this is timeless, so it can be applied to any situation. Just see which pile resonates for you. And then we can take it from there. Timestamps will be in the description box below, but I will do the selection process now. Oh, okay, I'm not going to take that one. So, yeah, turn them over. Okay, so we've got, right, so we've got storyteller, gossip, and martyr. Okay, those are your three choices. Your three choices, my loves. Pile 1 is storyteller, pile 2 is gossip, and pile 3 is martyr. Pile 1, storyteller, pile 2, gossip, pile 3, martyr. Timestamps will be in the description box below, and I'll see your reading. Bye. Hi, pile 1. So, advice for your current situation. Storyteller. Light attribute is the ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Shadow attribute, making up tales that harm others. So there's something about your current situation that is about telling your story, is about a story being told. Something needs to kind of come to the surface. It may be a secret. It may be something just needs to come up and be revealed, basically. Let me have a little look with your tarot. I've got 2 tarot decks here today. I've been using one for the last couple of readings, so let's have a look. There may be an aspect of somebody saying things about you as well that you may not like, or that it may be good, actually. We'll see. It can be both ways. So we've got the King of Wands, we've got the 10 of Pentacles, and then we've also got the 8 of Wands reversed. And then we have the Star reversed. Okay, so yeah, it seems like a delay on something that needs to kind of come to the surface about what is really going on. Also, what I'm really getting is that there's an impression that's been given to some people about, you know, you may be putting out the idea that you are, that you're really happy and that you're really kind of content with how things are, but it seems like you're telling a different story to what is actually going on for real here. So currently there is a situation. How people see the situation externally, looking in, they may think it's fine, or you may be giving off that impression that it's okay. There's something here that's telling me that it's very, you are putting out this impression. You want people to see you in the good light, but it might be a little bit detrimental to your own self. And also things may get misfired. Things may get misunderstood. It's interesting how we have 2 things shooting here. One's going, and this card is very interesting because it's obviously like these rockets are going in all directions. They're not going in one direction. This way I feel like the rocket's kind of a bit of a dud and it hasn't gone off. And definitely with this star as well, it's kind of just makes me feel that, you know, it's just there's an impression of it being really hopeful, but in fact the truth of the matter is that it isn't. I don't know, it feels like something about you know, like when on social media people post things and it seems all great, life, like their lives seem perfect, which is what the 10 of Pentacles is to me. But then when you you know, in reality, things are quite different. Now, initially, this card was reversed, so the shadow attribute was, so the shadow attribute will be stronger. But I turned it upright in order for you to be able to pick the card. So, you know, making up tales that harm others. I don't know if it's to harm others. I think it's to cover up something, possibly. So, advice for your current situation. Well, let's have a look at where we're going to go from here. What is it? No, I'm guided to use this deck again. What is it? Why is this impression being given? What is it that you're protecting? Because the king of wands is very much ego. It's fire. It's fixed fire. So there's something about ego that's going on here. Okay, so we've got death. Yeah, totally ego, right? Death, and then we've got the 8 of Cups. So it could be that where people see you very happy in a situation and they probably think that, oh my God, it's amazing. You should really feel that you are in such a great position right now. But actually, you know, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. We've got 2 8s here as well. So that's saying to me that there's a decision that's to be made. And because we've got the 8 of Cups walking away, the 8 of Wands, there's this kind of like sense of, you know, you've kind of done this and you're ready to walk away from this, even though people may, you know, I don't think you're telling many people about what you're doing. You may not tell people about how unhappy you really are, but you've come to this conclusion and you understand also about yourself and about who you are. And the reason why you're probably keeping it under wraps is because that you don't want to, you don't want anybody else to like, you don't need anybody else's opinion on your business. Do you know what I mean? So, well, I mean, it's the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups is interesting in this deck because it's, you know, he's trying to keep his peace while there's these lips kind of talking, but it does kind of feel that going from the 8 to the 4 as well, something about the honesty is almost the like not being able to be as honest as you can with outsiders is almost as much effort as it is trying to kind of keep things together, you know, for yourself and go through the situation. Yeah, Ace of Wands reversed. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like you're in a work situation, something that you can't move forward with. And you really have to like walk away. You have to understand. It could be a marriage. It could be a big partnership. It could be the fact that you realize that there may be some part of a connection that you just don't connect to anymore. It could be a business partnership. It could be a partner, but it seems to something, the relationship to something that holds a significant weight to you. And I don't know, there feels like the story that you've been telling yourself, it just hasn't been the right story. It hasn't been the correct story. And you've realized that. That's why death is here. I do think that something pushed you to that, to have to walk away. And you know, it's trying to avoid what other people say as well, and other voices in your head, because that's what, and you know, the 4 of Cups is a meditation card, but it also is this sense of like not taking an opportunity from the divine. And I don't know, I think that there may be like some external kind of some external voice that may give you advice that may be a little bit easier to digest, or it will give you advice when you don't, like, from not where you expect it to be from. Advice for pile one's current situation. The Two of Birds, which is the Two of Swords. Yeah, it's definitely a stalemate energy. Okay. The Cosmic Tree, which is the Hermit reversed. Yeah, you're starting to come out now and actually, you know, kind of tell the truth to yourself, right? Not just to others, but like now you probably faced it quite like before, but now you're finally, it's like, okay, now I'm going to come out and say it. The Four of Embers, interesting, for 2 4s. So you're moving towards your own happiness. It's almost like you don't really care about what other people think at all. You really have to tell yourself the correct story. And the Romantic, which is the Page of Cups reversed. So, no, is it the Page or the Knight? I think actually that's the Knight, yeah, because it's movement. So it's the Knight of Cups reversed. So, yeah, you're just out of love with the situation. Really out of love with the situation. So, and I think you may have been saying to yourself that you were still, you know, you were still enamored with it. You were still in love with it. You still liked it. There was a facade that was built up, and you were telling yourself a story, and now that story now is kind of crumbling. Something's crumbled, and now things have had to change, and you've kind of had to keep a kind of stoic appearance so that you can deal with it in your own way. Going forward, 13, interesting. So we've got Death reversed here, and then we've got Death that way. So what I see here is that there is it could be a karmic situation with this past life card. Also, there could be a little bit of avoidance about the situation. So going forward, and current advice on your current situation is to do your best to try and accept what's going on. And don't keep things to yourself. Like, obviously be selective about who you talk to, be selective about who you disclose to, about where your energy is. But, you know, don't try and keep a facade going. 10 of Embers. I mean, I don't see you overall trying to keep a facade too much, but this 10 of Pentacles does worry me a little bit. So I'm just thinking, okay, you know. And also the 10 of Pentacles sometimes may represent that you may be staying in a situation because it's, you know, it's comfortable, but really it's not it's not making you happy. 10 of Embers reversed, that's the 10 of Wands reversed. So then that's the essence of, and Sagittarian energy. So that's the essence of you, you know, realizing that you've had enough. I definitely see that. I definitely see like you're kind of like leaving a situation. I feel like if you wanted to get away and you wanted to do things where you were getting away, like going on holiday or something, that might help. But remember, why are you getting away? Because it's going to be just the same when you come back. So just be aware of that. And the best way to deal with something is through it. So, you know, it's a pretty intense situation. The Entertainer, which is the Page of Pentacles. There's a lot of different options. People are offering you things. I think there is distractions here. Okay, we've got 2 cards for you, pile 1. We've got Soulmates, interesting, Lovers. And then we've got the Crow, wow. The Magician, wow. So what I get from this is that this thing, whatever it was, you really understanding it and you coming to terms with the fact that it's over and that, you know, something new is going to come in, is going to give you space to manifest something new. I've got a feeling that this is to do with, I think this is someone else that's coming in. I don't know if there's something about trust as well, whether or not you can trust other people to like, you know, take the burden, take what's going on. But I do feel that there is something else here. There's something else at play which you have to allow to kind of like manifest, kind of work. If it's, say, for example, like a work situation, you know, and it was a project that you believed was going to come to fruition and you didn't, and then you kept on trying to make it, go like almost flogging like a dead horse, and then it wasn't working, and then you had to admit to yourself that it wasn't working and then walk away from the situation. But then there were some things that you needed to kind of like get your head together about, because you didn't need the opinions of other people telling you, oh, well, I told you it wasn't going to work and blah, 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 or stuff like that. This is just an example. So you've just had to kind of keep yourself kind of to yourself. And it's almost like, you know, accepting defeat about this thing may have been very difficult for you to do, because you might have felt that it was something that was transformative. This also could apply to a relationship, which is why I got the vision. It was kind of like maybe a strong relationship or a marriage. We don't have justice. We don't have lots of... we do have some cup cards here, but we don't have like real partnership cards. But it could be some... It feels like an emotional tie to some kind of project or agreement or something like that. But yeah, it's just kind of coming to terms with what really makes you happy. Because I think the idea of what you believed made you happy, it doesn't actually make you happy. It doesn't actually, you know, it was something else. It was, you know, this wasn't it. And now you're starting to explore what truly does make you happy. And you're going to be able to like walk on that path eventually now, because this thing has actually finally kind of come to like, it's dissolved basically. So the advice mainly here is that you got to let this run its course. Yeah. Don't fight it, because I get a bit of like resistance. So just allow it to be, and it's really annoying, and I've got a really weird kind of headache thing going on at the moment, which I've had all day, and it's coming up, and I just get the feeling that when, you know, if we do so much that we can to try and make it better, we kind of go against the thing of, you know, obviously you want to feel better, but there's a reason why it's come up. It's your body maybe alerting you to something, alerting you to a way that you're doing something that's triggering this situation, how something is not working. So it's causing you to stop and reassess your situation. And that's what this is doing. It's causing you to stop and reassess and come back to the beginning, because you've got Death and the Magician. So, okay, so let's have a look at some advice for you. I do good. So I think just have faith in yourself that you really, you know, that you do good stuff, that you, I don't know, don't think that people are going to think bad of you. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are not, honestly, they don't care. I mean, the people love you, right? But like, they don't care. They don't care so much that they're going to like think badly of you because this didn't work out. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I can't believe it. I haven't pulled any astrology. All right, I'll do that in a minute. Too many. Too many. Thank you. Cloak, camouflage, and see, it's reverse. Same kind of thing. You need to like let it go. Let it go. Let the cloak drop. Let the cloak drop so that you're able to like just be. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter anymore. Just doesn't matter. You know, sometimes when things are all out in the open, it just makes it so much easier just to deal with. Oh, and I just got the thing, it's such a headache when you're trying to like make things work. And that's exactly what's happening, because my head is like quite tense. Okay, so be your own knight. You can be your own knight. Interesting. Thing I'm getting from this more so is the one. So it's about you taking the opportunity into your own hands, you know, and believing that you can actually make an opportunity out of this. You know, you can make a good thing out of this situation. You just have to believe it. And with that Lovers card, not only do I think that there may be somebody else in the mix that might be able to help, that will be able to help you, not might, will be able to help you. Because with this Romantic card reversed, it kind of gives me the sense of where, like, you had a really hopeful nature. Particularly with that as well, the Ace of Wands reversed, you know, you were really hopeful about this. And it's kind of like diminished your hope. And, you know, with the Romantic reversed, I'm just getting the idea of, like, when people are not romantic, they're quite cynical, aren't they? Well, that's the way I see it. So, you know, now that cynicism is now starting to creep in, because, like, you're thinking, oh, well, it didn't succeed, did it? But don't tell yourself that story. Remember, whatever story you tell yourself is going to be the one is going to be the narrative that happens, that follows. And then I just feel, yeah, like this, you know, I think you'll be able to understand yourself better through this. I really do. I feel like you're just going to understand your needs better. Sorry if I just repeated myself, but clearly Spirit wants me to tell you that message. So, and then, yeah, the crow, amazing. I don't get that card often in this deck. And I love the Magician. And I love the crow as well. Something about the 3 lights as well. Also, maybe your spirit guardian animals may be wanting to get in touch with you. I am noticing the crow and the fox here, so they may hold some resemblance for you. The fox is someone who, is a creature that is able to camouflage themselves and also to hide very well in spaces. They're very kind of dexterous, so you know that's something to think about. And just remember, you know, I think personally, I don't think that you really need to be too dexterous. Just think that, you know, just celebrate who you are, because that's going to really help you in this situation. And just, you know, just let it ride it through, because you'll be able to get through it. Honestly, people will forget about it in no time. And the last card, which is your astrology, is Neptune, and that's vision. I would say get sleep. Really make sure that you're taking care of your sleep and your rest. Also, your emotions, because it may seem that your emotional state might be kind of overtaking and making you really tired. Also, there's something about being cold as well. So I just think making sure that you're warm, and that's inside as well. So the way that you're talking to yourself, making sure that your dream state is something that's really kind of taken care of. If you do record your dreams or anything like that, please do that, so that you can start to gain some insight about your dream, about your situation, because that will really help you going forward, your dream state and your unconscious and subconscious self. They will help you to give answers on your situation more deeply. So, my lovely pile 1, I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, you take care, my darlings, and I'll speak to you really, really soon. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, see you soon. Bye. Hi, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. So, you got gossip. Now, advice for your current situation. I've got a feeling that that what may be considered as gossip may actually be really good. I've got a feeling, because it was upright as well. The other 2 archetype cards were reversed, but this one was upright. So I'm feeling like the light attributes are here. So there's something about people knowing about your situation that actually is a good thing. And people talking about something. It may even be that you want people to gossip about you, but in the way that you want them to talk about you. You want them to kind of get something, to know something about you, so that they can, or about the situation. It may be that you're trying to put across some kind of brand or something like that. But it does seem that there is something positive about this aspect. Awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. It also may highlight about who you can trust, you know, who is the right people to tell certain things to. So, okay. No, I want to use the other deck. No, I want to use this deck. Okay, pile 2 situation. Can we have some advice for pile 2 situation? Wow. Okay, so you got the same King of Wands. Yeah, King of Wands. 10 of Wands. It's pile 1. 10 of Wands. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. God, I haven't read with this deck for a while. How bad of me. This used to be one of my favourite decks. This is the World reversed. The 6 of Pentacles. And then we've got Temperance reversed. Okay, I mean, there's big destabilization process going here. It's almost like going on despite what's being what is being spoken about. Similar to pile 1 in a way, except that you're not giving much away, but also, you know, you can't walk away from this situation quite yet. There's things that you really have to you have to make sure that they're right, and you know that things are imbalanced right now. They are really imbalanced right now. You've got the 2 cards to me that say massive imbalance. So this is not so much. This is imbalanced, and then this is as imbalanced as you can get. So like there is something that's going on here, and you're trying to manage it. Now, what's really interesting is that this character in this King of Wands reminds me of a particular character that was the most annoying character in a computer game that I used to play. Well, it's Breath of the Wild, for those of you who play games. Which is a Zelda game, the latest Zelda game. And it was the most annoying character out. It was such an annoying character. It was this thing that like this wizard that used to turn up and like shoot you. Now, and it'd do it with different things because there were different elements. So there was electricity, there was fire, and there was also just something else. I think ice. Yeah, that was it. So here we've got fire. It just seems to me like there's some real annoyance that's going on here. It's really annoying, but these things were really damaging. Like, they would be really damaging to the game, so you would die, you know? So it's not like it's quite a severe thing. And with this little owl here as well, it just gives me the idea that there is some, you know that this is for you can see the long game of this, but it's almost like you're having to endure something, and it's kind of throwing you off balance, like really throwing you off balance. Another off-balance card would be the 2 of Pentacles, but you've got the 6 here, which seems that you are kind of bowing to the kind of the greater forces. You're understanding that, but it's almost like you're waiting for it to be over. It's really interesting, really, really interesting. Empress reversed. Okay, yeah. I don't know. It seems like you can't hide anything about this. And that's why people are talking about it, or maybe things are getting known, and maybe you're worried about gossip or something like that. But yeah, I don't know, this could be a personal situation to do with your own stability, with your own personal situation, maybe to do with, like, I don't know, could be the way that you're handling some part of your life, be it work or personal situation, but there's something that you know that you need to go through the motions. It's interesting. It's similar to pile 1, but it's almost like with pile 1 they needed to accept their fate, and with you've accepted the fate, and you're like, right, let's just get on with it. And it's kind of a bit of a slog. But you do have the Ace of Pentacles here. You do know that there is a golden opportunity at the end of this. You know that there's a means to this. You're not doing it just for the sake of it. You're doing it because you know that it's going to be long term. It could also be that you have made an investment in something that people are just like, what have you done? And it's destabilized you, and people are like naysaying you. You know, like for example, when Bitcoin first came out, and then like people who invested in Bitcoin, they were like, what are you doing? I remember an ex of mine said to me that he bought Bitcoin, but then he sold his piece of Bitcoin, and then now his friend has got like about 20k, or probably even more than that. And whereas like obviously he sold his Bitcoin, so he's not getting that, is he? So I'm not laughing because of that. I'm just saying, do you know what I mean? If he didn't sell his Bitcoin, it would have been all right. But then this is the thing, when you feel like you need money and then you sell it, it's crazy. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how I referred to that as well, because I do think it might be to do with like a financial thing. I also remember a story about like my dad bought he made a big gamble with like buying a house, and my mum was like, you know, thinking he was crazy, but it's really paid off for him on the long term. So it's like that kind of thing, that kind of investment, where it may destabilize you initially, but there is a long-term investment here. There is something here that's tangible, and it almost seems like this is like something from the dead. So you know that this will come around again. And like also when it comes to like stocks and shares, they run in cycles. Everything runs in a cycle. It doesn't just like die. So there's an understanding of the opportunity and understanding of the cycles, I think, here that's coming to fruition. But it's tough because everybody's saying, oh no, you shouldn't do it. Like you've got people that are trying to tell you what to do, basically. And the Emperor, yeah, you're really like standing your ground, totally, with the King of Wands there, and with the Emperor. You know, the Emperor is the embodiment of all of the kings upright. So we've got strong masculine energy. This is very much about the material and about how to kind of keep things going. And let people gossip. And it's interesting because here we've got two clear females. So, you know, it may be that even family is saying that what you're doing, like what are you up to, like why are you doing what you're doing, and you're just, you know, I think the best thing to do is just go forward and just be clear and just be like, I'm doing what I'm doing, just leave me to it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, very determined, pile 2. I like it. I do like that tenacity. I'm a big supporter of the underdog, so I really like that. You know. Because I think you know what's going to happen, but they don't know. Okay, advice for again, the cosmic tree. Interesting. That's the Hermit. Yeah, you're just doing you. You don't need to tell nobody your business. The Mystic, which is the Queen of Wands. So interesting. The High Priestess, reversed, and then the Queen of Wands. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing, and it seems to me like you've also got support. King of Wands, Queen of Wands. Okay, so you've got those things in balance. You may have a partner as well that is really supporting you. Okay, what is this doing? It's slightly that way. Okay, 3 of Swords. I mean, you know, it is a bit painful. Yep, this is a painful situation because you're having to endure it. I feel like it's almost like a weathered storm, kind of like, you know, something, and then Emperor. Wow, that's interesting. The Empress reversed is clarifying the Emperor. So, I mean, feminine energy is on the down here, apart from this Queen of Wands, which Queen of Wands upright to me is like a kind of lesser magician. So, and then you've got both the main female cards, you know, with the Empress or the Peacock, and then we've also got the High Priestess. They're both reversed. So what that says to me is that maybe there are female characters in your life, right? Or females or matriarchs or strong female like energies. They may not even be female. They just it's the energy. Their energetic resonance is female. They are oppressing. They're pushing against it. There's a bit of a battle here. There's a bit of a battle, and it's like the divine masculine against the divine feminine. The divine feminine isn't really, isn't really looking at it. She's needing a bit of convincing here, and she ain't convinced by anything. There may be some strong maternal characters, as I said, that you might have had to walk away from. It could have even have been that, for you to like make sure that you had your sanity, and also to make sure that you had your financial stability. You've had to walk away from like a matriarch, for example, or a strong female character, in order to just kind of like gather your sanity. That could be happening too, which is definitely resonant, with the whole gossip thing, because I've heard many times about matriarchal figures within families, saying things about their children or their siblings, which to disempower them, and especially when they're breaking away and doing something for themselves, when they're gaining a sense of independence. There's also a sense here that in this world reversed, that that you're just going to be on the same cycle over and over again with this person. That you're going to be, in a kind of like breadcrumbing situation. I definitely get that kind of breadcrumbing situation here. But because the emperor is upright, there's something about your determination that knows about you getting out of this situation. It could be a dynamic, where it is like you're trying to get away from someone who is a toxic female. Really, really. Because the females are all afflicted here, apart from that Queen of Wands. And if you were to go like with the kind of like hierarchy in the queens, even though all the queens are really strong, my favorite personally is the Queen of Wands, because she really kind of like, she's the manifester. She's the one that can change things. So like, I mean, all the other queens are fantastic, but they have different attributes at different times, and you're not quite the Queen of Swords energy yet. The Queen of Pentacles would have been somebody who's kind of established, and the Queen of Cups would have been like that deeply emotional state. It doesn't feel like you've got the ability to be able to be emotional, because you've got these females that are doing this at the moment. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky, and it's heartbreaking, because you didn't want it to be that way. But this was like slightly, it wasn't totally, like it was like on the cusp of you being upright and reversed. So and this is Libra energy, so we've got Libra, Taurus. The Queen is, I kind of attribute it to cardinal fire, so that would be Aries. So yeah, there's an initiator energy here, but it's kind of, it's sad. It's quite sad. And you have to be really clear cut with it in order to like make sure that you don't get damaged. Six of Embers, yeah. Six of Swords. Six of Wands. I mean, this is it. If I was to describe this as some kind of narcissistic dynamic, where I'm not saying that everybody's a narcissist, like has narcissism, but I'm always narcissistic. I'm talking about like narcissistic like traits. Like say, for example, it's an oppressive family situation, and the matriarchs are quite oppressive. They've kind of run into like maybe the sisters or whatever like that. And then walking away gives you this kind of like temporary relief, where you're able to like actually be with yourself and actually manage yourself a bit better, because it's thrown you so kind of off it, off course, off kilter. Karma, that's justice reversed. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is some kind of situation where you've been scapegoated, black sheep, ostracized. So I mean, yeah, best thing to do is just get your head down and do what you're doing. Get the F away. Wow, the Peacemaker, that's the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles, and in this deck it's called the Peacemaker. I'm telling you, you're getting away from this. This is the only way that you'll be able to find harmony within yourself, to get away from this, because it's actually very toxic. Very toxic. the 10 of Wands. That's the 10 of, see, look, 10 of Wands, 10 of Wands. So, you know, you've had to deal with a situation, but in order to like step up your boundaries, you walk away. You're like, I'm done. I am done with this situation. It is about empowering myself here. I don't care what people are going to say to me. I don't care what people are going to talk about me. I'm going to do me, and I'm going to do whatever I need to. And that's why I think, like, I do think that the gossip might work out in your favor, in the respect that people will find out the truth eventually. So, yeah. The High Priest Guardian. You are divinely guarded. I'm telling you, Pile 2, like, whatever kind of situation that you've been put into, in the respect of you having to kind of deal with this toxic personality or this toxic energy, you are divinely protected. Divinely protected. In fact, I would go as far as to say that your ancestors are looking out for you. Your people that have passed on, they're looking out for you. They know, because, you know, I do a lot of work with ancestral trauma, with you know, I've got a deep vested interest in it. I wouldn't say that I'm going to be doing a lot of work with it. So from a personal perspective, I have a vested interest with it, and I know that, like, death is a very interesting space for people once, you know, for them to understand about what's happened. You know, it releases something and allows you to, like, get on. I do feel you're a bit of the curse breaker here, Pile 2. You're the ones who are going to change the narrative for the company. Interesting. For the family, if that's the case. And it may be the company. It may be in a business context as well. It may even be both. It even may be the family business. But you know, ultimate harmony and peace is your main priority. And things have been working against you. Absolutely, they really have. You know, they have not been fair. It's not been fair at all to you. I hate it when I see justice reversed. Nothing infuriates me more, actually, because it just makes me think that people have had to deal with things that are just not fair. Not fair at all. Even though good people, you know, and it's that whole thing, like, bad things can happen to good people. It doesn't matter. You know, and the whole understanding of karma is very intricate. It's not as simple as in, like, you do something good and good stuff will happen to you. You do something bad, bad stuff will happen to you. It's very much about rebalancing of energies, and also understanding that it may not be your fault, but it is your responsibility to do something about it so that you can move forward. Don't let it define you. Don't let things externally define you. It's about you empowering yourself through that. And I think you're the one to do it, quite simply. You're the one to do it. Deep. Okay. Virgo, digest. Yeah, this is about you kind of, like, mulling over and getting and doing things, like kind of just working through things. Your day-to-day is going to be what gets you through this situation. Yeah, your day-to-day is going to be what gets you through this situation. I benefit with gratitude. Just being grateful for each step that you're taking, being grateful for each kind of each step along the way. Because it's going to be really difficult at times. You're gonna really be thinking, why did this happen to me? Why what have I done to deserve this? And nothing. You've done nothing to deserve this. You can go into the things of, like, yeah, it could be something to do with karmic patterns, but I don't think that that's really your thing to do right now. Right now is about you getting through this, and then you can deal with that later. Endings are inevitable. Interesting. Interesting. And we have a 10 here. 3 plus 7, 10. 6, 5. Okay, right. So 5, 6. Yeah, this is about new karmic cycles, new patterns that you're making happen, and it's about chipping away, chipping away. So just keep on going. I know it's tough. It is tough. Please do take care of your stomach as well. Take care of any kind of things that you're eating. Make sure that you're taking really good care of your health. You are you're just making sure that anything that might upset you or worry you, just make sure that you're just taking good care of yourself, pile 2. That's going to be a really good incentive as well for you to like help you through this next stage for your current situation. So I hope that helps, pile 2. If it did, please do let me know in the comments. Give it a like, a thumbs up. Do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, I wish you all the best with your situation. You take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Hey, pile 3, welcome to your reading. So, advice for your current situation. You pick Martyr. Interesting. So it was reversed. So the light attribute is learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause, and shadow attribute is addiction to self-pity. Addiction to self-pity. You may be feeling a little bit down about your situation. You may be thinking that what am I going to do? Why me? What's happening? Yeah. I mean, obviously you understand that, you know, you have a role to play. But yeah, there's something about this. There's a bit of an imbalance with the situation that's going on here. Let's find out more. Yeah. Advice for pile 3 situation. Advice for pile 3 situation. 7 of Pentacles. Reversed. Strength. My favourite strength card. 4 of Wands. Reversed. And the Hanged Man reversed. Okay. Things definitely haven't worked out the way that you thought that it was going to. You may have tried to start things off as well. You may have tried to do things several times. And it just hasn't taken root, just hasn't sprouted in the way that you've wanted it to. It hasn't come to fruition. You've really been trying. You may have also tried things from different perspectives as well, but it may be that you're stuck in the fact that you might be convinced that you are trying to like do things in a different perspective. So what I'm seeing, right, is someone who is trying to make something work. So for example, they're trying to make something work within their life. It could be business oriented. It is feeling like something to do with like life, career, business orientation. And what's happened is that there's just been, you know, this kind of like fight, this real defiance, this tenacity, this strength of being able to like just continue to try different things, but it just hasn't happened where things have kind of worked out. It hasn't. And if it has worked out, it hasn't been something that's been a lasting sense of happiness. We have, I think that's Aries and Jupiter. I think so. Does that make sense? No, I don't think so. I don't think that is Aries and Jupiter, actually. Is it Aries, Jupiter? Yeah, it is actually Aries and Jupiter. So yeah, there's something about like maybe you believe that you haven't capitalized upon a situation. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of like believing that you haven't exhausted all of your resources when actually you might have done. And it's so interesting how we have two suspended characters here. So it's almost like you've been throwing yourself into everything. You know what's like coming into my mind? This analogy that my meditation teacher said, that there are people who go round and they try different things all the time in order to find like happiness, in order to find something that works for them. Excuse me. So for example, like you know, maybe try this thing. You maybe try like chakra work, or you maybe try like meditation, one type of meditation, or you may try some form of yoga, or you may try loads of things. Now, I think like a lot of people on the spiritual kind of in practices, we do a lot of stuff anyway. But in terms of like sustaining something, or maybe you've wanted to try to be a practitioner or something like that, and you maybe have tried like various different things. It could also be with a career. I'm thinking it's like to do with, it feels like something to do with a career, where you've tried to make things grow, to gain, to try and get it to take root, and it just hasn't worked out. Things haven't taken root, and or maybe you've tried and they haven't been as like, they haven't given you the stability, not nearly the stability that you need as you would do if it was with like a regular job. So having that faith is quite difficult. And also I do feel like there is a lot of maybe seeking external validation, opinion, something going on there. So you know, if you try all of everybody's suggestions, then at least you can seem that you tried. That's the kind of impression I'm getting. Pile 3. So we've got the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Now it's interesting here. Usually the Ten of Pentacles reversed, I do like it, but because it's this particular one, I don't know. I think that you may have been barking up the wrong tree in some instances. There may be, so particularly if you are doing any kind of spiritual work or anything like that, pile 3, I would advise you to kind of like do some work where you get cleansed. Take salt baths, take, anything that's going to clear you, to cleanse you properly, to get rid of this energy, because there's some kind of like negative energy that's influencing you right now. Okay, we've got, okay, why not? 2 of Wands. Yeah, I think what happens is that you've got quite a stable grounding. So you may have like something financially, and you've got like some kind of form of security, but to kind of like elevate yourself off of this like level, like this is challenging. 5 of Pentacles reversed. There is a way out, but it's not the way that you think it is. And it is coming to fruition. It is. I also do think that you may not have seen, you're starting to understand that maybe before you were under an illusion, and now you're realizing, no, I can't, that's the traditional kind of reverse meaning as well. But I do feel like this may be evil eye, do you know what I mean? So when people like look, they may like look on you, and then that evil eye, the concept of the evil eye is people like looking, and I have evil eyes everywhere, like here, do you know what I mean? They're really, I think it's good. And the whole concept behind it is that when people like look at you and they admire you, that's the same thing as like when people look at you and they think, oh my God, what are you doing? You know, it emits an energy that causes, it might cause like harm. And in traditional like Indian, I think it's, yeah, in traditional like Hindu religion, I know that with my ancestors, they used to put coal on a baby, like underneath the eyes, to make sure that when people were like, oh my God, your baby's so beautiful, that didn't actually cause evil eye onto the baby. because even gushing over a baby, you know, and getting all kind of like, oh, that's so cute and beautiful, that can also have a negative effect as well. So, you know, it may be that you have found that like there's been instances where things have started to go well and then all of a sudden it doesn't. It just stops. And that's what but then I think there's something that you're finding out with this 10, that you're starting to understand that, but you've got a good stable background where you do have some protection, but I just feel that there's something else here. So there's something that needs to be built from the ground up, and it's interesting how we go from the 10 to the 5 and they're both reversed. So there's almost like this kind of like, it's almost like a shifting as well of the consciousness, because this is poverty consciousness, and then when you're moving out of that kind of moves you into a more abundant state. And I don't know, maybe you felt like you weren't capable of achieving that state, pile 3. You know, maybe you thought that wasn't something for you, but actually it is for you. Okay, we've got the Page of Swords reversed. So, I mean, like, yeah, there's definitely some facing of things, I think, that's going on here. Like, you're starting to really kind of... And it's really interesting because the original Rider-Waite version of the Page of Swords, you know, it's quite a similar thing here. So, I feel like there is some real kind of, you know, realizations going on about your situation. And maybe there was... I wouldn't so much say it's a delusion, but maybe you put your faith into it. It wasn't, I don't think, I wouldn't go as far to say it was a delusion. I think it was maybe you followed other people's advice too much, or there was something going on where you maybe disclosed your plans, and then that caused something. So that's what I'm seeing. And yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, if out of all of the decks that I have, this Queen of Cups is really weird. And it kind of says to me a queen that gives everything to what is around her, when she should be the most abundant and beautiful. You know, she should be like, there's a Cancerian energy about her, but in this kind of one, it's very depleted. And she can kind of give to her external situation, but it's depleting her. And then when it's reversed, it's almost like there's something feeding on you. I would honestly get cleaned. There's something about that. Some kind of energy that is kind of like, and I don't know if this might be of something that there's either two things. It's either like externally been put on you, or something that you might have, not two things. It could be a number of things. It could be something that might have been evoked. It might be by you or by others, or it could be something karmic. Nothing here really is telling me that it's karmic. It's just telling me that it's on you. So there's something that you need to do. And honestly, awareness is the first step. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's really interesting actually, because with that 5 of Pentacles, you know, it's almost like that's the energy. That's what the energy does to you. It keeps you in this kind of like shadow with that. But then once you realize, which is the awareness, and it's the doorway going in, that means that you start to change things. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, and also if you find that you may have been tired recently, you may be always tired, you may not be able to like have your energy the way that you've been wanting to. This could be as simple, right, as you going to a spa or something like that, getting some kind of massage, some kind of cleanse, getting a good amount of sleep, taking a salt bath, making sure you clean your home where you are, just making, and you know, having a cleanse of the people that you're in contact with, making sure that the information that you're kind of consuming, everything that you're consuming is clean and for your benefit. Okay, you've got the Pelican, which is the Emperor, the 4, interesting, and then we've got the 5 of Swords reversed. So this thing is going to be a little bit stubborn, I'm not going to lie. 6 of Cups. Interesting. 4 of Swords reversed. Okay, so there may be some kind of overworking element that's going on. So you may be thinking that you have to do things. There are so many things that you have to do. Interesting. That's 6 of Lotuses. And the first thing that I notice is these shark fins that are here. I've never seen those before. And it's 5 of them. I think, right, this is a theory. I think that something might have affected you in your childhood. That might have latched onto you, pile 3, and now is sucking your energy a bit. I don't think that it's anything that can be gone. I think it might be a bit stubborn, but I think, you know, if you want to look at this on a psychological term, or you want to look at this in layman's terms, what this could be is this could be a thought pattern of yourself that makes you think that this is your fate, that this is your destiny. Have a think about that, right? If you think that certain things are, you know, this is just the way that things are, this is what I'm destined to do, this is how I'm destined to be, you know, it's not my, it just happens to me, that's where I would start to look at stuff and start to think, right, how can I kind of question myself of whether or not I can really, I do, you know, I think I do have influence over this. I do have like power over this. The Emperor is here. And the Emperor is here to tell you, you have power over this. The Pelican is very much the ambassador of you being able to look at what you have done, like what your influence is before you move on to the next stage, which is, what is the next stage? The 5. What is that? 5 is the Hierophant, but it's this is a different deck. So let me just have a look. 5. The Phoenix. So like it's when you can rise and you can like move on. It's literally you kind of coming to terms with the things that you have to take responsibility for your part in this situation. You know, it's not just happening to you because it's fate, la di da. It's this is you taking decisive action, you know? And I think that the part of the weakness of this thing, of whatever it is, be it a mental pattern or whatever it is, yeah, that's feeding, is because it's placing you in a space of disempowerment that's causing you to go into this martyrdom kind of attitude. So once you knock that out and you get rid of that, you'll be sorted. And I don't think it's going to be easy. Don't think it's something that is going to be easy. I don't think it's too hard, right? I don't think it's too hard at all. Because we've got minor arcana here and we've got 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Do you know what I mean? This is something, I think this is, as I said, to do with you believing that, you know, you've got to work your way out of this. And there's another way. Hanged Man reversed is a different perspective. You need to pay attention to a different perspective. The Swan, beautiful. That's the High Priestess. So coming into yourself, tuning in, meditation, tuning into who you are, trusting your divine feminine. You know, we've got the divine masculine, and then we've got the divine feminine here, like the ultimate divine masculine, and then we've got the divine feminine. So, you know. And the not the divine feminine that gives birth, the divine feminine which is the cold, right? So it's not the Empress energy which is creation. It's the female, it's the yin, and it's going into that space so that you can be in a receptive space to find out what it is that you need to do. And it's also like that sense of reflection as well. So meditation, turn it up. Wanderer. Okay, so that's the Page of Wands reversed. Yeah, don't rush into anything. Don't feel like you have to go all over the place. I mean, even if you just look at this card, you can't even see the face, right? So it's very much like you don't need to scatter your energy so much. But there's something about you not being able to resist, like assume defeat about this situation. You feel like, I mean, you know, look at what's going on. There's a fight going on, and then the egg goes off. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like picking your battles, like picking what it is that you want to get angry about or you want to put your energy into, because it just kind of dissipates into nothing. And this is something that's come from childhood, I think. Yeah, it's something that's come from childhood because of the 6 of Cups here. And those sharks. I don't like those shark fins that are there. Might have been very fleeting. I really think journaling might be good for you. Pile 3. Check out journaling. Okay. Oh, the Mender. Oh, that's the Queen of Pentacles. That's home. That's home. That's you believing that you can... Is it the Queen of Pentacles or is it the Queen of Cups? Hang on a minute. I think it's the Queen of Cups, actually. Sorry. Yeah, it's the Queen of Cups. So, I mean, even more so, this is about you kind of coming home to this kind of like sense of maternal... It's about you invoking the maternal instinct within yourself to mother yourself better. Yeah. Because that's what's missing from here. This kind of cold, watery vibe that's going on here for you to be receptive so that you can like heal yourself in a really good way. Yeah, there's definitely something that happened there. Yeah, journal on that. That's interesting. Okay. It also could be something to do with your mother and also a maternal figure that could help you to kind of get in touch with your emotions. We've got the Devil here. 4 of Birds reversed. Yeah, I think that whole thing of like, you know what I was saying before about you digging loads of holes everywhere and trying to look for an answer everywhere except the place where you need to look. That's what I'm getting from this pile 3. Because it's all very nice and shiny to go for the thing, but it's like an idealism that's happening here. It may even be an addiction that you have. Yeah. So I mean, giving this a bit of a wash, I think that there possibly, this is one storyline, won't apply to all of you, but there is an addiction to something. The addiction to something was caused by a disappointment that happened when you were younger, or when something happened in the youth, or before in the past. I do think it's to do with childhood because we've got 2 quite strong childhood cards there. And what happens is that now, because of that, there is some kind of addiction that's going on, which is actually like really depleting you. That's what that energy is. I thought so. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, you know, right, looking at it from a shamanic perspective, we are like doilies. Doilies are those things where you put like, you know, where you put like things on, which people make out of like lace and stuff. And we're full of holes. So, you know, if we suffer like anything that may have hurt us in a certain way, parts of us break off and other things come to like replace those. So what we need to do is we need to heal or accept that this is something's come in place of that, to kind of help us deal with things such as addictions and things like that. It's what happens when there's something called soul loss, particularly when it happens in times of trauma. And what happens is that the soul breaks off, and you know, and trauma is so, we've got so many instances of trauma. It doesn't have to be like, you know, really serious, as in something really bad, you know, like as in like something that you witness. So for example, like war or something like that. It doesn't have to necessarily be like that. It could be something that happened at home or something that really affected you. So for example, like your mum or dad could have said something to you, or a caregiver could have said something to you, and then that's just stayed with you for all that time. Now, I mean, the 6 of Cups is upright here, so I don't think that it was overly bad. And you've also got the 2 of Wands here, so I've got a feeling that you overall it's pretty good, but something managed to slip in. The Shark. Something managed to slip in, and it is a negative core belief. I think it's a negative core belief. If you want to look at it on a psychological level, I think it could be a negative core belief that has kind of like wormed its way in and is disempowering you, and it's almost like an addictive thing. That's why the Martyr's coming up. So wow. So in terms of you moving forward, I think, yeah, it's about you reflecting on yourself. I don't think that you need to look externally. Stop looking at external things. Stop using external things to heal you. You need to go in, quite simply. Just to say, right? Just because I said it's simple doesn't mean it's a simple thing, but it doesn't mean that it's easy, all right? Okay, so we've got the library. Take control of your own narrative. What more do I need to say? Oh, you got 2. Look at that. Oh, interesting. You got cloak, same as pile 1, I think. And then you got belt, awakening. Yeah, this is a ding-a-ling-a-ling. Hi. Right, okay. So, like, this is a wake-up call for you. For real, pile 3. This is a chance for you to kind of just check what you're doing, because I mean, God, you know, I'm sorry if I'm sounding harsh. I'm just trying to like kind of portray this to you, but I think you've got all the answers. I think you already have it. It's just about you understanding it. You don't need to look at anything else. You don't need to do any kind of like external healing or anything like that. You just need to look within. You know, you don't need to go and get any ceremonies done. You don't need to go and get any kind of like things like, you know, I'll give you an example, right? On the circuit of plant medicine, you have got people that are very much addicted to taking plant medicines, right? You've got people that take plant medicines consistently again and again and again. And what really that they're addicted to is the idea of the ceremony, and also the idea that, you know, this is what, you know, they have to do this stuff. And the more that they do, it kind of, you know, this helps them. And then they're feeling so elated after the actual ceremony or whatever, that they come out and then they're like, yeah, this is amazing. But actually, they haven't integrated what they need to do. So bear me 1 second. So there's a very interesting meme, actually, which or a drawing that someone did about, it's a guy walking out of a cave, and he's thinking to himself, and it's a drawing, and he's like, oh, I think I need to like do some more medicine. I need to do some more, like, say, whatever, plant medicine, whichever one it is. And then there's this like kind of black creature that's calling out after him saying, integrate me, bro, integrate me. And that's the whole thing, you know, we have so much. I mean, you know, some people, they may be able to integrate very quickly, but like, I think that if you're working with those sort of things properly, if you're doing enough kind of inner work, particularly like shadow work, right? It takes a while to integrate it. It does take a while. And it's a lifetime thing. It's not a, you know, it's not a quick fix. And I think that our society has been so conditioned to like thinking we take a couple of pills and we become better. It's the same thing. We go to a retreat and we become better. And I think it's just like a day at the spa, but that doesn't mean that the patterns and behaviors that got you wanting to go to the spa in the first place, they're still there. And that's where the work is. That's what has to be done. And that's what this is saying. Because of this here. And it's almost telling me that you've got everything that you need already. Just stop looking externally, because there is this tendency here to look externally. Quite an intense message. Sorry, Path 3. It's because I see it a lot. I see it a lot in the spiritual community. The answer's within you, my loves. It's within you. Okay, I care for the earth. Does that earth include you? That's what I'll say about that. also, again, like what I kind of feel as well, and do you know what's making me a little bit annoyed here? It's because people take advantage, right? And I'm not saying this is you. I'm saying this is what people do, I think, to people who are really vulnerable and who are trying to like do the best for themselves, because that's what I see here. I see like you are trying to do the best for yourself, but then there are other people that try and take advantage of that, and they feed on that, you know, and that's what makes me really annoyed. Because I just kind of think, you know, this is the whole thing about people taking advantage of others who are in vulnerable situations. Look at that. It's this. I'm angry at this for you, you know. So it's about you taking it, and I'm saying to you, like, seriously, don't feel like you have to torture yourself in order to get somewhere. It's not the case. It's not the case. You can do it in a different way. This is all said with love, pile 3. Because I just don't want people to take advantage of you. This just feels like these situations have been taken advantage of you. Something's been taken advantage of you, and I noticed that there. I don't like it. Stay away from my pile 3. Okay, 6th house, sustainability. Interesting, because we got... No, actually it was Virgo. Well, it is Virgo. Yeah, 6th house is Virgo, but it's reversed. So what I'm getting here as well is that there is some soul loss here. There is something that's happened, because it's this kind of like, I was going to say martyrdom, and it's there. There's this sense of like, it's almost like you're trying to fill up a bath, but then the plug is not plugged in. So what I would suggest to you, pile 3, for advice in your situation, is look within. Look where you can plug up those holes and make sure that you are really stable. Ensure that your boundaries are really strong. Do not dissipate your energy into spaces where you are committing to things that do not seem like a quick fix or anything like that. So for example, if it's like, oh yeah, I should try this new kind of form of healing or something like that, or I should do this, or I should do that. No. You've already got your own thing. You've already got your own kind of, you've got everything you need, right? You've got it all. Look within, not without. So I say that all with love. I hope you enjoyed that reading, pile 3. Please, if you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, I wish you so much love. If you want to go deeper into this and you want some more help, I would say come for a reading. But actually, I don't think so. I think just look within. Yeah, look within. That's what I would say. The High Priestess. Converse with the High Priestess. Talk to what you feel the High Priestess represents to you. Investigate what the High Priestess is. Yeah, you know, because I want you to heal. And I know you're doing that already, but I feel like there's just a lot of charlatans out there. Just watch out for it. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, my darlings, you take care. I'll speak to you soon. Lots of love. Bye.